Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Ring of the Starless Skies again, because they changed it. Yeah, this is the 1.3.1 version, which is different than the previous version that I went over with. Now, the Ring of the Starless Skies is a pretty powerful item, and as you can see here, it is a uber unique, which is a unique that can only be gotten from Duriel, pretty much. If you find one of these in the open world, you might as well just, you'd like won the lottery at this point. But it's a pretty rare drop from Duriel as well, so keep that in mind. Now, this particular item has been changed, and we're going to go over the stats together as if it were brand new. Let's just talk about it. So first off, it has 12% resistance to all elements, and then it has another 12% resistance to all elements, which is a lot. 7.5% critical strike chance, which is a perfect crit. Very, very nice, because honestly, I think I pretty much do crit on every single ring. Pretty much more none. I have 26.2% critical strike damage, which is a really nice percent of critical strike damage, because it's perfect, of course. Honestly, when it comes to rings, I usually go for crit. I usually go for critical strike damage. So, we're 2 for 2 here. On top of that, the double resistances, which most rings have a all resistance on them, but they do not have 2 all resistances, which the Ring of Starless Skies has 2. We also have 29.2% core skill damage, which is in theme with the item because, of course, it is specifically for core skills. We also have 9% lucky hit chance, which is a pretty nice lucky hit bonus, and there's a lot of builds in this game that build lucky hit, so certainly not terrible. The main effect on this ring is spending your primary resource reduces the cost of your skills and increases your damage by 10% times for 3 seconds up to 40% times. Now, it's definitely a lot different than the way it used to be. So it used to be set up more along the lines of, well, it would just reduce it, and then if you used another ability, it would kind of reset it. And it definitely has a much better usefulness now. They also had a bug with the channeling abilities not working with it, and apparently that's been patched too, so now it does actually work with channeling abilities. Essentially how the Ring of the Starless Skies is working now is it basically just makes it so that you can spam a core skill. If you want to set up a character around a core skill, like, say, Double Swing, Shred, Whirlwind, whatever it may be, you can basically do that now, and you can just spam that ability for a pretty long period of time, and the bonus freaking spirit that it gives you, or rather the reduced resource cost, is actually kind of highlighted here. So you can see right now it says 38 spirit. Let me go ahead and attack a little bit here. And we're at 34, so I'm going to right click, and now we're at 0. As you can see here, so we basically have no spirit cost for some, and then it goes down to 25. I think the 0 is a bug. It is 25, so it basically brings it down by a pretty hefty percentage. And then, of course, it also gives us the damage bonus on the core skills as well, which is the 40%. Honestly, the 40% times multiplier is really nice on top of things. So it's going to beef up your damage pretty significantly. And I think it's a good change overall, because what it was before, it was not really all that amazing. In fact, I have I'm pretty sure I could pull up a picture of the Ring of the Starless Skies from before. Let's pull it up, and let's kind of compare them side by side, shall we? So this was the original version. Oh, a little bad. I need some more pixels on this. Each consecutive core skill cast reduces the resource cost of your next core skill by 8 to 12%, up to a maximum of 40%. So basically what we've got here is we're still getting the 40% reduction. But they made it so that, like, before, if you used any other ability, it would just remove that from, play. Now it doesn't really seem to do that anymore. Now it seems more along the lines of you kind of maintain that for basically the entire time period. And the reduction in spirit cost is definitely noticeable, as well as the multiplier that it gives you, which is definitely noticeable as well. And where is it usually shows up here on the bar. Let me see if I can Gain bonus. No. I don't really see it on there. 10% reduced spirit cost per stack. There it is. Okay. So that's what we're looking for right there. And the 10% spirit cost reduction per stack goes up. So let's put this ring back on. I didn't even have it on, of course, because I'm a big dummy. I guess it doesn't show up down here. No. Because this isn't it, I don't think, because that's coming from something else entirely. Because I had the ring off earlier, and that was still popping up on the bar. Not really sure if the new one actually shows up down here or not. No. See, because there it is right there, and that's, we don't actually have the ring equipped. Yeah, so I guess it doesn't show up on the bar. It does actually show up on the tooltip, though, which is quite interesting. So it actually shows up on the tooltip that you're reducing the cost, but it doesn't actually go down to 0, because as you can see here, I'm using, I have what, 151 right now? And I'm obviously still decreasing, so it's not going down to 0. But it definitely does make it eminently more spammable, with a little bit of help, a little bit of usefulness on some other abilities, some spirit cost reduction, maybe a little bit more regeneration. I could totally see being able to just spam shred indefinitely. Of course, it depends on the character too. Like the rogue has abilities that give her like 30% lucky hit to restore 8 energy. There's also the sorceress has ways that she could reduce mana cost consumption through things like ice armor, blizzard, and so forth and so on. So there's a lot of different ways that you could potentially utilize the Ring of the Starless Skies in a build to add in more additional reduction to make it so that you could just spam the ability forever. And the 40% multiplier on there certainly doesn't hurt. I think they heard us on the last video when we were talking about kind of how it doesn't really quite live up to its expectations. Well, let's live it up to its expectations now. So if you happen to find one this season, this is Season 3, by the way, patch 1.31, well, you have something really freaking epic now. Free 40% multiplier. You also have the ability to just kind of, reduce the resource cost of any of your skills. Honestly, it's not even just core skills anymore. I guess they just kind of took away the core skill thing, which kind of makes me wonder why the core skill is still there on this core skill damage. But, rereading it now, spending your primary resource reduces the resource cost of your skills, so all of your skills, and increases your damage by 10% times for 3 seconds up to 40%. So, I'm assuming that means everything now. I don't have anything else on me that costs resource, but I can always pull a couple points here and throw something in to say yeah, the wrong character for this, isn't it? I don't think hardly anything on this character costs resource besides core skills. No. All the core skills do. None of the basics do. No. So, like, that's actually kind of crazy. I never really even looked at that in that way. That the druid pretty much has, like, no spenders outside of core skills. Lately, I've seen a couple people utilize this ring. Frickin' Chunks found one early in Season 3, and he's been using it with his Lightning Druid with the new Unsung Heretic wraps. And dear Lord Jesus, this ring is frickin' insane. I don't have one this season, so don't be super jealous of me. This was last season. I did, however, find a Melted Heart of Saleg, so you can be jealous of that. I'm not sure what to think about this ring now. A 40% multiplier is definitely nice, but I'm kind of sick of them just slapping on multipliers onto everything to make it look attractive. There's too many multipliers in the game already, and honestly, people are just going absolutely ham with them, hitting like billion, trillion damage numbers. It is an uber unique, and, it should feel uber. So having a 40% multiplier on there, probably a good thing for this type of item. All in all, I mean, it's basically a resource ring, a very well crafted resource ring, and also gives you a huge damage bump in the process. So certainly not terrible any way you look at it. Anyway, as always, I hope you enjoy these videos. I just wanted to do an updated version of the Ring of the Starless Skies. And as always, keep watching.